Good evening. Thanks for joining me today. The Texas Education Agency released its 2026 A through F ratings for public schools across the state. The release was accompanied by a polished press release. The agency predictably led with a flattering headline. 49% of high poverty campuses earned an A or B rating this year. The TEA commissioner claimed campuses can excel, quote, no matter where students begin. The TEA is urgently trying to leave the public with one impression. Poverty is not a barrier to an A rating in this system. Pointing to high-performing, high-poverty schools, it does absolutely nothing to refute the 0.4 correlation between campus poverty rates and lower A through F ratings, a fact that the TEA itself has acknowledged in the past. The public deserves a clean measure of teaching quality. Before anyone takes the TEA's A through F victory lap at face value, there are some hard questions the public and the media must demand answers to. Question number one, where is the correlation data? Why is TEA presenting this one decontextualized factoid about poor schools and no other information? If 49% of poor schools got A's or B's, but 80% of rich schools did, then the system isn't really measuring instructional quality. It's still pinpointing poverty. Out of all 9,105 campuses rated this year by the Texas Education Agency, I want to know the exact statewide correlation coefficient between a campus's percentage of low socioeconomic status students and its overall A through F score. If the claim is these ratings reflect quality of instruction, then it's absolutely fair to insist that the system be built to exclude poverty as a factor, because schools can't control that. If the TEA is deliberately highlighting convenient outliers or zooming in on the upper tail of a distribution, that is nothing but typical PR spin, marketing, BS. Pointing to high poverty schools that scored well does not prove that poverty isn't a factor in this system. TEA's failure to transparently post the correlation coefficients along with their press release feels like a silent admission that student wealth remains a significant predictor of a campus's grade. Question number two, where are the low-performing wealthy districts? The TEA claims that Texas' accountability system gives all campuses the ability to earn high ratings. Well, a fair system, the inverse of that would also be true. All campuses would have a similar likelihood of earning poor ratings. So, my question is, how many districts or campuses with a poverty rate of under 20% received a D or an F? Is it similar to the number of poor campuses? If the accountability system is socioeconomically neutral, as the TEA so desperately tries to imply, then bad grades should be distributed across all types of neighborhoods at roughly the same percentage. If wealthy school districts and school campuses almost never fail, almost never get D's or F's regardless of teaching quality, then the system's not evaluating schools, it's evaluating property values. Question number three, did the math goalposts change to create a headline? We don't really know if the cut scores, scaling functions, or raw to scale conversion tables shifted inside the black box in a way that disproportionately pushed low-income campuses up. A 2 percentage point bump in high poverty A and B rates can easily be engineered on a spreadsheet by simply tweaking a formula or two. The public needs to know if these improvements were earned in the classroom or if the gains were manufactured, finagled inside this complicated system that only TEA can poke around in. Question number five, is the TEA an honest broker with Texans? Will the agency categorically deny that student socioeconomic status impacts a campus's likelihood of receiving a D or an F? Can they say that? If not, why not? If they won't say it, will they be straight with us and acknowledge that the A through F metric is partly influenced by factors that a school cannot control? Here's the deal, the TEA can't have it both ways. It can't admit quietly that there's a 0.4 correlation between poverty and A through F ratings of schools but then issue a widely seen, polished press release designed to convince parents that demographics are not a factor, pretending that this A through F system shines a light only on instructional quality. That's not honest. If they feel any responsibility to transparency and honesty, they should state clearly whether the A through F tool is a pure reflection of instructional quality, or they should admit the presence of structural flaws and confounding factors. If a public agency uses data to massage a narrative, it's abdicating its duty to be honest with the people, and it's engaging in nothing more noble than political marketing. Every grade they issue and every press release they trumpet should be treated as PR spin until scrutiny proves otherwise. And it's not just about miscommunicating to the public. It's not just about spin and marketing. These A through F scores are tied to real stakes, devastating stakes for communities that lose their schools, lose their ability to elect their own school board representatives, and very often lose their identity. It matters a lot. If we're going to have a metric and we're going to pretend that metric tells us whether a school is good or bad, then it should tell us whether a school is good or bad, not whether it's rich or poor.